Welcome to Studio D on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. This is Sooner Sports Pad. Now here's your host, Courtney Boggs.
Hello, Sooner Sports Pad fans. On this lovely Election Day Eve, what better than a little bit of sports talk? I'm your host, Courtney Boggs, alongside my wonderful analysts, Blakely Durham and Carson Williams. We also have a great live studio audience. Who's with us tonight, guys?
We do. We have the Presidential Community Scholars Group joining us tonight.
Big thanks to them for coming out tonight on their, Monday nights and just coming out and supporting us. Big thanks to them.
We're also joined by offensive linemen Orlando Brown and Caleb Kelly. They will be talking to us a little bit later on in the show.
And tonight in Face Off, Carson and I will discuss the versatility of the Sooners fullback, DIMITRI Flowers.
And Jordan Woodard takes the reins for Long Cruiser's squad as the new senior leader, hoping to guide the Sooners back to an NCAA tournament.
Well, 4 days ago, the Sooners traveled up to Iowa for the dreaded Thursday night game, a scheduled curveball that has definitely gotten some people, some good successful teams, and brought them down, and a feeling that Bob Stoops knows oh too well after our 2013 loss to Baylor on a Thursday night. But despite having a beaten up and worn down OU roster, the Crimson and Cream came out on top, beating Iowa State 34-24. The Cyclones led for a whole 14 seconds in the second quarter before Baker Mayfield's 65-yard touchdown pass to Dede Westbrook pushed OU back into the lead, where they held steady for the rest of the game. Baker threw for 328 yards and 4 TDs on the night, headlining OU's 477 total yards of offense. Oklahoma dominated the time of possession with 36 minutes and 59 seconds over Iowa State's 23 minutes and 1 second. This is the 13th straight Big 12 conference win for the Sooners, which is tied for the second longest conference streak in program history. I mentioned that OU's roster was a little bit beat up on Thursday night's game, so we saw some second and third string guys getting some action. What did you guys think about OU's depth on Thursday?
Well, once again, Sooner fans got to see a whole nother side of this Sooner offense on Thursday night. DIMITRI Flowers, after 3 seasons on the team, blossomed into a beautiful player on many different sides. He rushed for 115 yards, added 34 receiving yards, and a touchdown. Not to mention some great underrated blocking at fullback. Great to see that guy really shine. And Jeffrey Mead, look at that with the spin move and the touchdown. He had a total of 42 yards. On down the line, Gino Lewis and Nick Basquin. Lewis had 6 receptions for 59 yards, and Basquin added 4 receptions for 36 yards. Mark Andrews added a touchdown as well, so lots of versatility for the Sooner offense as a whole. Of course, Dede Westbrook is still a superstar with 131 yards and a 65-yard touchdown catch right there.
Well, you make good points, but I have never seen, and Bob Stoops has mentioned this a couple times the past few weeks, I've never seen a defense so banged up. But the last 2 games, Stoops has pointed out, there's only been, he's actually seen 1 point where there's just 4 starters from the beginning of the season on the field. Because of that, I have been impressed with the way the young guys have stepped in, especially one of our guests, Caleb Kelly, recorded his first sack of his career on Thursday, and nearly a second one, had the guy in the back of the end zone, but he threw it away. Jordan Parker has also played well at cornerback and had a very good open field tackle against Iowa State. So here's to hoping OU's Thursday night game will give them a couple more days to rest and get healthy for Baylor on Saturday.
Let's hope so.
Well, clearly we've established that a handful of players stepped up for the Sooners on Thursday night. That being said, we're going to change it up a little bit. Who is your step-up MVP for Thursday's game?
Oh, well, I talked about him briefly earlier, but Jeff Mead was doing some laundry, right? And put the defense on the spin cycle with his touchdown run right there. Not 1, but 2 spin moves. Beautiful. I haven't seen him ever do that, and it was great. Right there. Oh, no, goodbye. All the way to the end zone. Although only having 2 receptions, his 30-yard reception for the touchdown was really key, and I think we can finally expect to see some more really great things out of him, and I'm excited about it.
Unfortunately, the Sooners were without star running back Joe Mixon, and they've been without Samaje Perine for the past couple weeks. Bob Stoops said he could be back Saturday. That would be big. So DIMITRI Flowers, really, we've already talked about it, has stepped up. He had a big game Thursday night. The junior had 22 carries, including his first career carry on the second play of the game. And for the third straight game, Flowers recorded a receiving touchdown, and he said after the game he was exhausted, and it's easy to see why. He just really took a bulk of the load and just really carried OU to a win. But he said it was all worth it. So a big time game from him on the road against Iowa State.
Oh yeah, he did it all.
It was a great game for Carson's MVP on Thursday, and Carson actually had the chance to meet up with DIMITRI Flowers earlier today to talk about the emotion behind his amazing performance on Thursday. Take a look.
It was a game to remember for me, coming off, getting that many touches. I had some catches here and there. I had some key blocks in the game. So, I really did a lot of different things, and, I'm just glad that the coaches trusted me and put me in position to help this team win.
6-0 in the Big 12. Obviously, do you guys think that you're playing your best ball right now?
Definitely not. Watching back on that film, there's so much we left out on there, mistakes that we made, including myself. So, there's always room to improve. We're never going to be perfect, but we're definitely far away from where we can be.
You guys have a pretty tough 3-week stretch coming up, Baylor, West Virginia, and OSU. What are you guys going to really stress in the next couple weeks just to kind of chase your second straight Big 12 title?
Definitely just taking it one week at a time. We can't look ahead to certain games. We know we have a tough opponent, coming to our place in Baylor. So we have to just go out there and attack every day, each day in practice, like it's the final game of the season and like we need a win.
Okay, thanks, DIMITRI.
Yep.
There may not have been any football for us to enjoy on Saturday, but there were some other Sooner sports in action. Blakely, what do you have for us?
Well, I'm very sad to say that the soccer team lost on Friday night in the Big 12 tournament to the #1 team, West Virginia. I know, it's a bummer. After a valiant effort throughout the entire tournament, the women fell 2-0 to the Mountaineers. But a great season for the Sooners, and they found out earlier today that they will face the SMU Mustangs in the NCAA tournament. So it's on to postseason play for them.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Well, there was no football on Saturday, but the OU volleyball team was in action at McCaslin Fieldhouse against 4th-ranked Kansas. The Sooners grabbed the lead early in the first set, but then, unfortunately, they lost the next 3 sets and fell to the Jayhawks. OU, though, will stay home this week, so you can go check them out. They play Iowa State on Wednesday and Texas Tech on Saturday. And then going into men's golf, the 9th-ranked Sooners, they had the burden. They had to travel to Hawaii and play in the Ka'anapali Collegiate in the team's final fall event. After a rough first round, OU bounced back in rounds 2 and 3 and finished 4th overall in Maui. Blaine Hale paced the Sooners with a tie for 4th with an 11 under 202, that is. The team's spring season begins in February in sunny La Quinta, California.
Wow, they just have to travel.
Yeah, they get to travel everywhere, right?
Maybe we should do a little on-site show and head out to California
We should have been on the golf team, honestly.
All right, well, I am going to call a quick timeout so Carson and Blakely can huddle up and regroup for their debate over DIMITRI Flowers. Face Off is up next. Welcome back to Face Off. Carson, Blakely, who's going to win today?
Me, I'm going to win. Me.
All right. Question number 1. Obviously, DIMITRI Flowers showed a lot of versatility in the game on Thursday, but which position do you think has the most potential for his future?
Well, I think DIMITRI Flowers really shined on Thursday as a running back. He's a big guy, and he can break tackles and push forward to gain those extra few yards. As I said before, he had 115 rushing yards, leading the team after many thought with the absence of Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine, that Abdul Adams would be taking the bulk of the carries. But in reality, Flowers had 22 carries, and Adams, 200 would be a lot. He'd be really tired. And Adams only had 8. So Flowers proved himself as a key part of the Sooners' win in that running back position, and pretty much in almost any area you could name. But I think he really stood out to me on Thursday as a running back.
He did do a good job. But I'm going to go, I think he's a little too big to play running back, a little too small to play tight end. But he fits perfectly as a fullback, and we've seen what he can do. He's versatile. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball. He can block. He can do it all. So that fullback position for him is big. I think back to last year against Baylor when Baker Mayfield was running around, scrambling for what seemed like forever, and then found DIMITRI in the end zone for the win, the big win in Waco. Hopefully they can get that done again this weekend against Baylor, get the win. But I think right now DIMITRI fits best at fullback.
All right, I'm here with Kara, and she has an audience question.
What NBA player has surprised you most at the beginning of the season?
Well, for me, Joel Embiid is making a statement in his comeback to the NBA. Embiid was out all of last season, but is proving to be a new player this season. In the 76ers home opener, he had 20 points, followed by 14 against Atlanta, 18 against the Magic, sat out a game, but then came back and had 22 points against the Cavs, not to mention the posterizing block over LeBron James that has since gone viral. So the crazy thing is that Embiid is actually only being limited to 24 minutes per game because of his previous injury. So when he gets back to being fully healthy, he's just going to be a great young addition to that 76ers.
Also a good follow on Twitter.
Yeah.
Very funny guy.
He is funny
so
on Twitter.
I'm going to stay in the East, and I'm going to go with the Raptors. They're one of the best teams in the East and have gotten better each of the past few years, thanks in large part to All-Star DEMAR DEROZEN.
Yeah.
He's been incredible. His first 5 games, he started with 30 points in each of those. The first to do so since the GOAT Michael Jordan in 1986. So in DEMAR DEROZEN's hot streak, he's been shooting 55% compared to MJ's 50. However, last night he kind of cooled down a little bit, but hey, still a great start for him. The Raptors, watch out for them.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, now time for the face-off deal breaker viral videos. Guys, what do you have for us today?
Well, for this college football season, we have seen a lot of crazy touchdown catches and things like that.
Oh yeah.
But I've got something else a little bit different, but still kind of the same thing right here. So Texas Tech cornerback Douglas Coleman, you'll see here's Texas running back.
There he is.
Coleman literally strips it from him and runs all the way back 100 yards for the touchdown. Strips it right out of Foreman's hand before he can cross that goal line. It is reviewed and ruled a touchdown for the Red Raiders, so I've never seen anything like that. That was insane.
Big win for Texas, though, in Lubbock. They got the job done. And like you said, at this point in the season, anything can happen. We've seen anything happen. What about just a crazy, ad-lib game-winning touchdown?
Let's see it.
Here we go.
Let's see it.
So this quarterback, he's just kind of like scrambling around, looking a lot like Baker Mayfield. He's got him options to go to. Just escaping defenders left and right, weaving in and out, dodging defenders, plants his feet, and fires one to the end zone. Where is it? And it goes touchdown. And they win the game. They win the game, and the team runs onto the field. Crazy.
Okay, it is time to vote. Cheer the loudest for who you think won. Was it Blakely?
I think you're going to get it.
Or was it Carson? I have to give the win to Carson. Good job, Carson. You actually won one. 2 weeks in a row. All right, it's time for another break, but when we come back, we'll be talking a little bit of basketball, and we'll be talking to Orlando Brown. Stay with us.
Special thanks to our cornerstone television partners, Chesapeake Energy, Riverwind Resort, Anheuser-Busch, OU Outreach, and OU Medicine.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. Lon Kruger's basketball team last season was a legend all their own. But now, there's only one man left standing. Sooner Sports Pad's Sammy Steele gives us a deeper look at what Jordan Woodard brings to the table for this season. Take a look.
Well, they are an impressive team.
Impressive is just one of the many words that could be used to describe OU's Final Four team of a year ago. The foursome of Buddy Hield, Isaiah Cousins, Ryan Spangler, and Jordan Woodard started an amazing 105 straight games together.
It was great. My brothers off the court as well as on the court, and it just makes it easier just growing with them because, college is Because, you know, college is just a growing experience through the pains and, you know, the good times and things like that. And you just go with them because you see them every day. It's like being in a fraternity.
Being the youngest of the four, Jordan learned a lot from his older teammates.
That's basically what I was, a fly on the wall, just watching it. Yeah, at times, you know, I watch them, take a little bit of their routine, you know, just stick around, then hopefully just pick up some little knacks, you know, just because we all got, our personality is different, but, you know, like I said, we was on the same level, so it made it even better.
All right, so who's the funniest out of that group of guys?
Who's the funniest? Buddy and Isaiah, they a tie. They are tired. When it comes to being up all day and 24/7, just get that craziness. Probably Buddy, because Buddy, you never know what you're gonna get from him, but you know it's gonna be something crazy. So something crazy. It's good crazy. Well, Isaiah is just. Man, it's just he's just Zay. He's funny because he like to party. You know, he's a real upbeat type of funny. Yeah.
Now Woodard returns to OU with big man Kadeem Lattin as the only player who he has spent a lot of time with. Check out the dynamic duo as Kadeem leaves practice without taking part in our interview.
And this year we decided to link up at the house and then, hey, bro, where you going?
Kadeem!
You got class?
Come on!
You got class? You got class?
To be fair, we hadn't even asked Kadeem to be in the story. After all, we know he's not shy.
All right, Jordan, you've got a lot of new teammates on the team this season. I say we play a little game of pick and roll. All right, I'm setting the pick. And I'm rolling. And I'm hopefully scoring. Oh! Hey!
So now it's up to Jordan and Kadeem and a roster full of young talent to carry on the tradition.
He's been working on his game a lot, and he's really just gonna do what he did last year as far as defensively. And he gotten a lot bigger, you know. So we've been eating right at the house. So yeah, we've been having and he could cook, so you know he can take care of himself down low in the post, you know.
So if Jordan can keep up with his favorite running mate, it could be another banner year for OU men's basketball. Sammy Steele, Sooner Sports Pad.
Thank you. And now for a word from our big men on the set, Orlando Brown and Caleb Kelly.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man.
My first question, Orlando, is for you. What's it like as an offensive lineman playing in such a fast-paced, thrilling offense and watching guys like D. Westbrook or Joe Mixon just get big plays?
Oh, man, it's exciting, man. You know, for me, you know, I think it's a lot easier playing in a high-tempo offense because of my size. And, man, by the time the second quarter rolls around, nobody likes me leaning on them. So, so yeah, man, I enjoy, watching Didi and Majay and Mix and all those guys make plays.
And Caleb, you had your first sack of the season against Iowa State. How was that for you? How's your freshman year going so far?
Shoot, it's been pretty crazy. Coming from California, it's been a change just being out here. But I love it so far. It's been real fun, finally getting a lot of playing time and just doing what I love.
Take us through what it was like to watch Eric Wren get that scholarship a couple weeks ago.
Oh, man, I was so happy for him. You know what I mean? He's came in here, he's worked his butt off, man, and, he's been very focused, on and off the field, you know what I mean? And, man, I couldn't be more proud of him. I think as a team and especially as, as an offensive line, man, we're super excited for him. Glad he's out there performing.
All right, well, I think Courtney has an audience question for you guys.
Yes, our good friend David has a question again this week. Here he is.
Back again. Hey, Orlando, this is a question for you, ma'am. If you could block for any NFL quarterback, who would it be?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton?
Why Cam? I've never had a quarterback that's merely as tall as me and mobile. So I feel like you can't go wrong with Cam Newton, man. He's got swag.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, time for another break. When we come back, we'll be playing Dynamic Duos. Question Orlando's favorite home-cooked meal? Is it A, spaghetti, B, pork chops, C, salmon, or D, pizza?
I'm gonna have to go with spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Let's see.
Oh! Look at that. He got it. 1 for 1 so far.
My favorite too.
And next question. What is at the top of Orlando's Christmas list? Is it A, Big 12 title, B, Beats, C, a MacBook, or D, a Slinky?
I really want to say Slinky, but I'm really hoping he said Big 12 championship.
Let's see. What'd he say?
You can have both. You can have both. It's
got a virus
fine.
on my computer. I just got a virus.
He wants a MacBook and a Big 12 title. I think we're going to give you that.
It's fine. Yeah. Totally. He has 2 things at the top of his Christmas list. All right, next question. Orlando has $10 in his pocket. Where does he go to eat? A, Taco Bell, B, Sonic, C, McDonald's, or D, 7-Eleven?
I'm sorry, that's a big man. I gotta go ahead and say McDonald's.
McDonald's? 7-Eleven!
I didn't even know you could eat there. That's crazy.
I know.
They got good hot dogs.
I put it
They got good hot dogs.
Hey, you can get a lot of food at 7-Eleven for $10, just saying. All right, and our last question. What concert is on Orlando's bucket list? Is it A, Lil Wayne, B, Chance the Rapper, C, Drake, or D, 2 Chainz?
That's easy. That gotta be 6 guys.
Drake? Who said
Is
that's
it Drake?
easy?
Yeah.
Oh! Very nice. What's your favorite Drake song?
Favorite? 0 to 100. 0 to 100. Yeah.
I like it. Good choice. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight.